Alrighty. Alrighty. Think I'm ready. Think we got this. Got the game up. I got sounds all good. Everything should be ready to go. Hi, Devo. My little buddy is being incredibly needy right now. Do you want to come here? Come here. Devo. Come on. He had catnip for the first time ever today. It's true. Smiley has movie time in an hour and a half, I believe. You should go watch a movie with Smiley. Honestly. But yeah, welcome. Howdy. How are we doing? How's it going? It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. I am incredibly tired. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for. We'll see. I'm very excited about this DLC though. Like, I am so pumped. I am a little sad that we didn't get to play Village ahead of time, but that is okay. Because we can always play that again another time. It's wild to think that this game has already been out for a year. It's so very good. Also, my AC is on, and it is very cold right where I'm sitting. Hold on a second. Hi, Devo. What are you doing? What are you doing, Carly? No, please don't trip me. Yeah, Cat's had catnip for the first time. For Farley in a very long time. For Devo, the very first time. And Farley is acting all sorts of crazy right now. I don't know if you could hear him running around in the background. But Devo is now being like, I need to be held. Love me. Move this blanket from behind me. But that's been very fun. Because Rainy got us some gifts off my throne wish list, and they're perfect and lovely, and I adore them. One of them was a cat toy for the boys, which is how they've got catnip, but also, look at this perfect little baby. Look at this baby. We have a Kayshurrr now, and I love her. I love her. She's so soft and just very precious. Look at her. Look at her. She's got a little tongue. And she's got little gills. She's very good. And I love her. But yeah, we got our very own Kayshurrr now. And I'm trying to find a place to put her so that she's always in view. But I don't have that place right now. So she might just live on my desk and we'll just pull her out every so often. But she's great and perfect and I love her. I love her so much. Rini did very good getting me it. I appreciate them so much. But yeah. So, like I said, I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for. It might be a short stream, it might be a long stream. Just depends on how stoked I get. And how much this pumps me up as we start playing. You know how it goes. But yeah, I hope everyone's been doing well. Hope things are going good for you on this here Friday. I'm not purple. Hi, Fruity. I'm not purple. We're very blonde right now. Because I needed to bleach my roots. And I did. But I ran out of the energy to finish the purple. So we'll do that at some point. But also, look her. Look her. It's a Kayshurrr. We have a Kayshurrr. And she's perfect. Look at her little feetsies. Look at these cute little feetsies. And this very silly face. It's a physical Kayshurrr. There is a Kayshurrr in our presence. She exists. Got a very cute little tail.
Stars_ya is rating with a party of 5. Kaysh and the gang welcome you.
Stars_ya! Hi, Stars. How are you going? How was the rest of your game? I had to dip out for a little bit because I was cooking and I had to eat. And then my dad called. Welcome in, friend. How are you doing? You came in just as I was showing off our real life Kayshurrr. And then Kayshurrr said Stars_ya is rating. And that was exciting. I'm sorry that the game was dropping frames so much, but I'm glad that you had a nice time regardless. It's wonderful. Yeah, we have an axolotl. She's perfect. I'm just gonna hold her in very strange ways, while I talk to my friends. We are, that's me. I am the father now. This is my baby. Don't talk to me or my daughter ever again. Oh, I think you were talking about my dad. Never mind. You know, Dad Kaysh. Hi, farts. It's fine. You just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that that was, in fact, your raid message. But yeah, welcome in, friends. Stars, you've been streaming for a little bit. If you need to get up and do a stretch, this goes for all the raiders. If y'all need to get up and do a stretch, take care of yourself, get some food, get some water, not stare at the computer for a little tiny bit, do that. I want you to take care of yourselves. We've only just started, so we'll be here for a while. Well, I say a while. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream, but we're gonna be streaming for a bit, and we're checking out the new DLC for Resident Evil Village. And I'm very excited, and I'm just gonna play with Kayshurr's little ear flaps. I don't even think those are really yeah, anyway. I too hope that we can eat bugs in this one. We're just gonna keep squishing Kayshurr's. She's perfect, is the thing. Look at her. Look her. So smushable. But yeah, I'm also very excited about the evils. And I guess I'll stop dicking around and maybe actually get this dang game going. I don't know how loud this is gonna be. So maybe we turn it down just a little bit. Maybe we turn it down a lot of it. Actually. That looks better. Okay. Yes, the secret books next Swamp Man crossover. I miss Swamp Uncle. But yeah, like I said, I was hoping that we would get through a second playthrough of this game before Change Rose's appearance. We'll stick with the dad's jacket. But I love that I have an extra outfit for her. I was hoping to get through another a playthrough of the main game for Village before we did this, but it's fine. I'm sorry we don't have Swamp Donkey here. Listen. This Rose, very powerful. But it's Ethan's jacket. Do we want Street Wolf? I'll do Street Wolf if we want. What y'all want? Golf Wolf. I haven't unlocked that one just yet, I'm sorry. No said nothing. We're gonna stick with the original Rose. Alright, let's do a normal game. I don't know how long this is. I don't know. I do have, like, the regular village content warnings up. I assume that some of them apply. Most of them apply. We'll see, though.
Hey, Kay. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. I'm just enjoying the day.
You said you had something important to tell me? I hope it's not about Chris wanting me to join his operation, because I already told him that's not happening.
Chris!
I see what he puts you and the rest of his Hound Wolf squad through. No, thank you.
It's not about that. It is about you.
Me?
I worry about you. How are things at school?
Who is this suspicious-looking man?
That's what you wanted to talk to me about?
That group of mean girls still hassling you?
I mean, are they still treating me like a freak?
Hey! Look at me. You're not a freak.
I mean, she's definitely a little weird.
I am. No, I am.
And that's fine.
That's why I keep my distance from everybody at school. If they knew what I really was.
A mold
So-
baby?
You don't have any friends that you can talk to?
Talk to? About what? How I'm hardly even human? How I'm some kind of horrendous monster? Hey, it's okay. I hardly ever murder my friends.
What if there were a way to get rid of your powers?
I get
Don't
rid
do
of
it.
them in a heartbeat.
Don't do it!
All right, well, I think there's something I need to show you.
We really are just kind of jumping in, aren't we?
You already know about Miranda and the mutamycete, how she researched it obsessively and performed experiments on human subject.
Like me.
Exactly. What you don't know is that we recently
Yeah, I don't
found some of her research.
Trust,
Apparently,
man.
she discovered a purifying crystal that can remove the mutamycete from its host.
I mean, he works for Chris, right?
If we get
But
our hands on one of these, we might be able to weaken
I
or
don't know.
remove your powers entirely.
Are you kidding me?
No, but her notes are incomplete. However, I think
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
an idea where
Keep
we
the
can find the recipe for research.
sewer powers.
Let's do it. Let's find it. Where is it?
Superpowers. Ditch the nerd.
In there.
Ditch him.
What?
That's a fragment of the megamycete. It absorbs and stores memories from people who pass away in close proximity, including Miranda, and everything she knows.
Including
If you
Dad?
enter its consciousness, you might be able to solve the mystery. Of the
Including
purifying
Mold's
crystal.
daddy?
Wait, what do you mean enter its consciousness?
So your deep connection will allow you to explore
I
the
mean,
information within.
the way that Rose was talking to him, and it implied that he works for
That
Chris,
sounds
right?
Crazy. You sound crazy.
Yes.
He probably
Yes.
is crazy.
Yes, Rose, but not dangerous. Right? Think of it just like walking through.
You're right, I
somebody else's
haven't. I
memories.
haven't seen them in the same
I
room.
really think this can work.
I think it's.
However,
worth
I
trying.
do know that Chris is caked
What do
up,
you
and
have
I
to
don't
lose?
think this man is.
How do I even do this?
Eat it.
Shit, I
Eat
don't
it.
know.
Lick
Try
it.
Reaching out to it. See what happens.
Okay.
Lick the glob.
Fine.
I don't trust this man, though.
What the hell?
Oh my god, Rose is so weird.
Yeah, it's like she sees things that aren't there. Creepy.
Stay away from us,
Ugh,
you freak.
imagine wanting to
That
be
voice acting,
friends.
though.
Definitely
Ew,
not
something
normal.
just moved on her hand. What is wrong with her?
Shut up!
Rose
It's
feels
like she sees things that aren't there.
freak.
Ew, something just moved
Go
on her hand.
away. Definitely not
Oh.
Just disgusting.
Please just stop!
Rose! My baby. Also, that sounded incredibly loud. But it also looked like it was real loud for y'all.
I'm still here?
No, it's fake. This is a
Kay?
fake place. Rose, we're in a fake
Where
place.
are you? Kay! This isn't right.
What gave you that impression? Oh god, I need to turn up the sensitivity. This is horrible. Game settings? Maybe it was in the other controls section. How does the game sound so far? Might turn the voices down just a bit. That's not the controls that I want. Where? Control type? Nope. Sounds been fine? Okay. Cool, 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 cool. No, this is all controller. I don't want sensitivity. There it is. Oh my god, please. Listen here, bucko. Travis, please. Miranda's research claims that the Megamycete preserves the memories of people who passed away within its area of influence, absorbing them into its own consciousness. We also know, based on our previous encounters with the mold, that people who are contaminated with the Mutamycete are connected in a kind of mold network. If we extrapolate from this, we can surmise that subjects with a strong affinity to the Mutamycete should be able to use the network to connect to the memories of the dead within the Megamycete. Should be possible to verify this theory using the lab's Megamycete sample we collected 16 years ago. We just need a suitable subject with a proven connection to the mold. Hi, Britt. I absolutely love Resident Evil Village, and I'm so excited for the DLC. How are you doing, though? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, this presents a problem. Our organization's policies prevent us from directly contacting civilians who were infected with Mutamycete. Certainly, the ethical reasoning is understandable, but it has rendered the confirmation of this theory impossible. Pains me to think of how much mankind could stand to benefit from this preservation and indexing of human consciousness. The possibilities of preserving or even reclaiming great minds. Perhaps there's some way of cutting through the red tape. Oh jeez! That's a long string. But I hope it was fun. I hope you had a good time with it. Oh my god, Rose, the way that our camera works is bad.
Wait.
I love all the reading in Resident Evil, honestly. That's a goopy hallway. Hello? It's wet and wiggly in here. And I don't like it. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. The sensitivity is so bad. Where was it? Game settings? Camera? Go up to 9. That's much better. Okay. I mean, obviously, that door is open and there is blood in there. But what's over here? Casey, I turned you off. Why are you still blowing on me? That's a goopus. What's in here? I'll be next if I'm not quick. I need to get that crystal. Okay. Have they sent other people in here before? Into the Megamycete, that is. I'm curious and scared. It's the Mega Mycete, ma'am. Not me already being like, I just want to explore. But it's true. That's a shoe. Okay. Great. What's goopin'? Oh. Could be the giant goop monster. Rose, I just want to be able to run, okay? You're already kind of jogging. Can you just pick up the pace a little bit? Yeah, it's just roof goop.
Let me out.
Roof, if you will. Goof.
Is someone there?
Dangerous here.
Yeah?
What is? Why? Hang tight. I'm gonna see if I can find a key.
Rose, I don't think we should help this lady. Hey, I don't think we should help her. Are you gonna eat? Stars, is your post-stream soup actually roof goop? I think you should think about roof goop is the thing. Roof goop is delightful. It's like meat fob, you know? The more you think about it, the better it gets. Yeah, you just need your post-stream goop. You're just gonna keep touching it? What are you doing? Roof goop might be made of corn. Do you have corn chowder? That's my name! Excuse you.
That's my name.
Rose, I said that. Mexican street corn soup? Nice. Nice. It's true, I trust Door more than I trust False Chris. They call him K because his name is actually Chris with a K, but they can't just call him Chris because Chris is Chris. And so they had to give him a different name to differentiate between them. This is my theory right now. To create art, simply add to the rabbit's carcasses. Decay is not an issue. Note, spruce them up with a bit of makeup. Makes them seem more alive. Why are we sprucing up rabbit corpses? Oh, hi! Oh, hi! Hello? Silky! Why'd you step in the goop?
Okay.
Rose! That's a goopus!
What the hell is this stuff?
Why did the goopus say my name? It is true, we do know where there is a spare shoe. I don't know that it's for the right foot, though. Favorite goofs is Mike with a K. Sorry, I'm gonna keep messing around with the settings, and no one can stop me. Oops. Okay. There's still times where I'm trying to look around and... Don't goop on me! My name's Michael with a B? And I am afraid of insects. Wait. Where is it? Where's the bee? There's a bee? Smiley. Hi! Hi, Smiley! How is it going, my friend?
Smile Eiley.
Smile Eiley. Smile Eiley. Sorry, I'm just gonna pull out Kimrold any and all chances I can get. Thank you, Smiley, for the sub. I appreciate it, friend. How are you doing? Are you resting? You better be resting. Hey, you better be taking it easy now. Thank you, pal. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm glad you're resting. Oh, it's real dang goopy over there. Smiley is on Eastern time. Remember. Tell Binks I love him. Tell Pinky I love her too. But tell Binks I love him.
What's this?
That's a goop! That's a goop monster!
No!
Oh, we're getting gooped. Who dis?
Thanks. Thank you. That was a...
Oh! That's...
Just like...
That's uncanny. Twinsies!
Who are you? I'm Rose. What's going on here? Must keep moving. But
Okay.
too dangerous here.
This is fine. Okay, this is like a really small thing, but I love her walking animation as she was going down the stairs. Smiley, don't dox yourself! You fool! But no, there's just something very cute about the way that she was like hobbling down those stairs. Do you want help with that? I can help you.
Help me lift.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Let's go.
Hey, wait, where are you going?
We crawling. Let me go through. Hey, other me, can you slow down a little bit? I'm a slow baby. Goopus. Who's?
What the fuck?
Oh. Why are there so many roses here?
There are more, and they all look just like me.
Hey, how you doing?
Do you know what's happening here?
It's over there. That's where we came from.
Hey,
What are we doing?
Are you listening?
Rose, I don't think she cares.
It's gone.
And the switch handle's missing.
It's fine. We'll find it. Wait, I can climb there. Give me this. Need to find that handle quickly. Go deeper. Okay. Oh, can I have a weapon? It is true. There's just so much dang goop here. Hello? Well, this is unfortunate.
So many bodies.
And they're all yours! Oh my god. Hey Rose. How you feeling? How are you doing? Ma'am! Ma'am! Okay, this is fine.
Really? Oh god.
It's fine! Listen! We're doing great, actually! I'm kind of here for this headcanon. Oh! I'm coming!
What?
I'm coming! Oh! Oh! a wizard. It's fine. It's fine. Just blow him up. Blow him up with the magic mold. Magic hands. Oh, oh.
They're everywhere!
Ah, ah. This is fine. Rose, I need you to hurry up a little bit. Open! Oh, it is bad in here, and I want to leave. Get me out of here.
No way!
Nope. 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 I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm sorry. It's time for me to leave. Rose, you gotta blow him up. Do your mold magic.
No! Stay back!
I know you're a baby, but you gotta blow him up, okay? Or just let the wall vanish. That's fine too. Whoop! It's fine. It's so dang goopy here. Sure is goopy out. Did that say this way? Okay, so the Mega Mycete has everyone's memories in it, right? How much you want to bet that the magic that's helping me is Dad? Sweet Daddy Ethan. In fact, I'm gonna be incredibly disappointed if it's not. Are we in Lady Dimitrescu's place now? Please say yes. It looks like it. Yeah, just take a moment to breathe. You poor baby.
What are you? Okay.
I
What
want
were
it to
those
be
things?
Ethan so bad.
What is happening here?
Also. Rip it and rip it.
How? What is this? Where am I? Not until I get this out of my body. There's a crystal here that will remove the mold. I need to find it. And I'm not leaving until I do. Who are you? My guardian angel?
Yes.
Do you have a name? If you're an angel, then Gabriel? Michael? Okay. Michael? What now?
Okay. Right? I just want Ethan back. I never thought I would ever say it, but I miss Ethan. Okay, let's do a quick save. No, I can believe I can say that. I loved Ethan. Ethan was perfect. His only downside was that he was married to Mia. It is a grand honor that you would bestow upon me such an important task. I can report the liquid void you provided has some splendid properties. Its most obvious use is for my dogs on their hunt, aiding them as they pursue our quarry. It also does wonders for slowing down and corralling the rabbits. Some have even been foolish enough to stumble into it and been completely engulfed. With this, I'm certain I will be able to fulfill your expectations and get you the results you desire. Door, please. Love a good goop. It's true. No, Ethan was perfect. There were a couple of times in Village where where he was unnecessarily aggressive. Didn't need to be as in your face as he was, but you know what? I can forgive him for it. He was kind of caught up in the moment. There was a lot happening. I get it. Ethan, good dad, though. We got our goop juice.
These poor things.
Okay. Ooh. That sounds like the Duke. What's this goop? It is the goopening. You okay, buddy?
Looks like we caught another. Lively now, aren't you? You should have put that effort into running. It would have made the chase that much more thrilling.
Oh, jeez.
Let me go! Let me go!
Duke's
It
kind of
would
gotten
seem this little rabbit
bigger.
lacks the necessary fortitude.
as in, like, much taller?
How pity. You had shown a little grit and actually escaped. That purifying crystal would now be yours.
Giant boy? Yeah, she got gooped.
Who's this?
Not the gasp!
Oh, now we have a new little rabbit to pursue. Let's see how fast this one is.
Oh,
Find
jeez.
her! Hunt her down!
Well... Ah! What's this? That's just a goop. That's just a goop! Ah! Please, I don't wanna get gooped. Oh, it's locked. Oh, there's guys everywhere.
Thank God! A way out! Shit! What now?
Okay. I thought that said I'm danger. I am the one
Seriously?
who knocks. Sorry. Yeah, no, can have.
Where am I gonna get a gun? What, like this?
Okay. Thanks, Guardian Angel. It is true. Got him. That looks really cool. Oh, oopsies. I meant to slash? I meant to smash. Oh.
Grabbing at my legs!
Okay, Rose, I understand. It's bad. Silverwolf. Let's reload. Yeah, please. Let's not have it be one clip per zombie. Preferably. It's true. She can't punch because she girl. Because she girl?
They're gone.
For now. They're gone for now. I appreciate the fact that she turns the flashlight on and off automatically. I don't have to fuck around with it at all. God, I do just want to play the main game again now, though.
This must be the crystal.
The disciples await their masks, bronze, silver, gold. With your
Guess I need to find these masks to
with their
unlock.
garb arrayed, the light shall be released. Please, she's a baby. Britt, please. Goodness gracious. Y'all are too much. I love Rose though. This is my child. I understand. They don't look the age that they are in video games. That's a that's a shotgun. Wait. Give. I want. I want. Welcome back to the land of not streamer brain. I'm sorry. It's very funny to me. But also I want shotgun. Give me shotgun. Meet. Hi! You're just a silly little guy. Ah! Okay, it is not worth killing these guys with a pistol. Pistol is strictly for stunning and running. Understood. We're doing great, actually. Give me those bolt cutters. Listen, sometimes you gotta find out that it takes too many bullets to kill a monster. And the way you find that out is by using up all your bullets. But now we know. And, hi? Yeah, I'm looking over here. What's over here, buddy?
If you really want to help, you could back me up against those things.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
So, I'm on my own?
Listen, he gave us bullets, okay? A lot of bullets, actually. What was that about me and my 3 bullets? Yeah, let me actually look at this. I need a key of some sort? Grant me that which sees the truth through its 3 eyes. Still will probably die. You right. You right, though. Okay. I'm kind of happy that this takes place in the, Dimitrescu mansion. Because it's such a cool location. I like it. It's very elaborate, very pretty. Don't let it be the Titanic. I don't want to go down with this boat. This is where I came from. I'm already lost, so that's cool. Currently searching, search complete. Okay, so I need to do something more in here? Like what? Game? Nothing in there. I mean, I assume that that's why it's still red here. Can I go out this way? Yes, because I have bolt cutters. Do it. Good job, Rose. I can't explain the cap, the baseball cap, but the jacket is her dad's. Herb. Also, I think I need to, before we get here, controls, key bindings. Okay, no, it still remembers everything from last time. No, I'm here for it. You gonna shit talk though? I'm gonna come at you though. I would say with my own shit talk. It's not that, but I will rationalize the entire time. Can I shoot this? No. Okay. Listen. Just fun, witty banter. Yeah, obviously it's trapped.
Core.
It's the flower
You
thing.
mean that gross lumpy thing? How am I supposed to break it?
Magic hands.
My powers. I literally came here to get rid of them.
Oh, pussy. The long pussy. Oh no.
Fine, but how? What am I supposed to do?
Here I was gonna say it reminds me of Juice Squid, but
What's that?
keep going through door. Amplifier, let's go. Do not, I repeat, do not stick anything in here. You will regret it. Okay. I want all these things. I want all the things. Hi. Okay, so the key that I get for that, I'm gonna need for the shotgun. Is it gonna pull the classic Resident Evil thing and like make me put a fake shotgun in the place of the actual one? Otherwise I can't claim it. Because that would be incredibly on brand. You can use these things and combine them together. Herb and chem fluid, gunpowder and chem fluid. There might be more items I can combine. I need to do whatever I can to survive. Give me that chem fluid. Oh, do you want me to craft a first aid kit now? Okay. I did it. What more do you want? That's too much gunkus. Rose, let me... I'm not allowed to shoot him, apparently. They're horrible sounds. Oh, that's too many of them. Right? Wow, sucks for her. Oh, no! Oh, no! We're fine. Actually. What's that? I want that! Ugh, I gotta get this amplifier first. What is it and where is it? Why is
No
it?
way I'm wading through that. Maybe I can find a way across.
Kick that ladder down. Rose, look. Do this. Yeah! Let the goop be angry about it. Can't do nothing. Get borked. I kind of know where we are. This is where you fight one of the sisters, right? I think in the main game you get here from like a fireplace? Yeah. I want the things. Nice! New variant?
So, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Focus? Alright. I feel different somehow.
Okay.
Alright, let's see if this works.
Oh, before we do that, Herb. I found a means of dramatically destabling parts of the Mutamycete network by introducing a disruptive force to block the auto-inducers they use for communication. For example, the hard-packed cores of mold known as sclerotia begin to break down on a cellular level and disintegrate when thus disrupted. Sclerotia form when the Mutamycete develops in new locations, serving as a sort of anchor point or foothold. They are often associated with a patch of liquid void through which the mold is spread. When the auto-inducers of the sclerotia are disrupted, it begins to break down. Any liquid void connected to the sclerotia will also disintegrate. It would appear that destabilizing the sclerotia sends a signal indicating that location is no longer viable for Mutamycete habitation, triggering a full-scale retreat. Okay. Neat. Give me that chem fluid. Also, let me save. You said to use it now? Did you mean in a moment? And not literally right now? I'm focusing? Oh. You want me to hit space? I understand. Gib. Can I use that on the molded? That's neat. Give me that gunpowder. Also, while we're here, let's get more ammo. You know, while we can. Okay. Neat, I like it. Kind of expecting there to be something in the crawl space. This is fine. Hey.
If I can't get around it, I need to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you, Rose. Don't worry about it. We got it. It's handled. Can it all go away? I know I can, like, walk on it once it's solidified like that, but I just wanted to... Where?
It's like I can't quite get a grip.
Ah! Oh, her face! Oh, why does it do that? Oh, oh, that was horrible. Oh, I hated that. Oh, oh, Rose, you have to keep your face on. Don't let the dude get rid of it. Please. Holy shit. Oh. What is this? High capacity magazine. Quit, please. Okay. Oof. I need Rose to be better about doing murders on these things. I keep trying to go for headshots because, like, I feel like that's gonna do more damage, but I'm not entirely sure that it does. Oh. Bad noises. Ah! Oh, that's too many. Oh, they just can't come in here. Okay. Where is it? Hello? Hi? Where? Oh, bad sounds. Okay, get rid of that. That's gotta go. Bad goopy sounds. More chem fluid. Great, you love to see it, but I don't think I have any more... Don't think I have any more... What is it? Gunpowder. It's too far away. Didn't realize I could get it from over here. It's fine. It's fine. Bad sounds. Why are they like this? Hello? Where are you going? Oh! He's letting his friend come take care of me. Okay, I understand. No! 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 No, 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 no. Why isn't my button working? Fuck! I don't like it! I don't like it! That's my nose! They can't have it! Okay. Not Frosty the Snowman. Where are you going? Horrible! Awful! Hate them! Do not like! Bad. Bad. I need ammo. Wait. No, I've already looked at that. Is this locked? It is. Okay. I realized I didn't check it the last time. Or like when we first came through, but that's okay. It's okay.
What?
That's a big boy. Hello? I don't like it. It's very scary. More gunpowder. Great. I think I'm out of chem fluid though. Yeah, I am. Okay. I was told that I have set that button to be my heal button, and it's not my heal button. I think I have to get into the menu every single time, and that upsets me. Hey, there's the silver mask. Monocular door deep in the basement. Great, okay, so that's where... So that's where the silver mask is. Understood. Gotcha. I didn't realize that was a drop. Oh, wrong way. I want more ammo. Chem fluid, maybe? Can we get more of that? Okay, before we get the mask, I'm gonna open up everything here. So that we can just kind of run around unimpeded. I don't think we're gonna fight anything though. So we haven't been given any like ammo. If we come across stuff, it's gonna be a you gotta run to only run, no fight kind of a situation, right? That's fine. We can work with that. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, give me that mask. Lol. Bronze mask acquired.
I finally got it.
Rose, it didn't really take that long. I mean, what's not wrong?
Everything. None of this was supposed to happen. No. The reason I came here hasn't changed. I need that crystal.
Oof.
Thank you.
Aww. Thanks. Alright. But I want that. But I want the shotgun. Let's go ahead and clear out some of this stuff before we put the mask away. Oh, we can get upstairs now. And through the door. Is there anything else that I wanna clear out? Oh, it's bad here. This is where we used to hang out with the Duke before he became an absolute shithead. I don't have the thing for that. Do not recall a single thing, not who I am, nor how I came to be. I know nothing. My memories are as broken as the face I hide behind this mask. All that remains is this feeling, this hunger to see others in pain, the despair in their eyes, the sounds of their screams. Who will be my next quarry? I am my minion to do my bidding. He has many faces but no brains within those skulls. He is my best hound and he will chase those rabbits down. So that's the new Duke. Hi Luna. How's it going? Welcome in. It's very goopy here. The last few games that we've played has very much been oops all goop. But we love goop here. is the thing. I have no chem fluid. This is horrible. If Luna doesn't know what's happening, that absolutely means we have to play main game for Village sometime soon. Love this dang game, though. But yeah, how's it going, friend? How are you doing? I kind of love this already. Kind of digging it. Okay, can we... Large crystals glowing with a pale blue light. Can I put... Yeah, no, I understand that there's an indentation. I want to... Examine. Yeah, that has a single thing on it. So she goes there. Put that there. Good job. One puzzle down. Hello? Okay, let's go ahead and save. Sorry. I got distracted. Can I? Okay. I didn't think there was going to be anything in there, but it was worth a try. I miss having a knife. Ooh. Wait, I was looking at that. Okay, well. Horrible. Get rid of the goop. Lady D's manor has gotten pretty dang goopy. Just gotta fix that. More handgun ammo. Perfect. And let's check the other side before we decide to go through any doors. Although I think, according to the map, the key should be over here. Okay. It's fine. They're just eating my clones' faces. You know, typical stuff. Normal things.
My word, you're just full of surprises.
Don't talk me! Don't talk me! Oh! Ah, 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 ah. Oh. Oh, we're fine. Those things chased me in here, but where is it? The monocular key was supposed to be here somewhere. It's not in this room, though. Must be close by. Well, I wanted to go check that other room, but Big Spiky Boy had other plans. I see. Thanks. Thanks. No, I mean, I know, I've kind of snuck back here already. Oh, thanks. Can you do that to the monsters? Oops, wrong button. Meant to hit tab. So that I can make some chem fluid. But also, let's get back up to full health. Just like your daddy. Just dump that shit all over your hand. Ooh. Oh, my frames are going. What is happening here? Wake up. Oh, it's gunpowder. Okay.
Looks like there are more of these.
Stronger now. Yeah, I am. Okay. More handgun ammo. You love to see it.
I did that.
Okay. This is much nicer. How do I refill that, though? Also, I hate it up here. It's the... Okay, there we go. The frame rate was horrible up there. I'm not too upset about it, just because, like... Take this, too. Sprig of White Sage! Okay. I see, I understand. I mean, I took it. I did take it. Oh, be careful. Thanks. Bad man. Real bad man. Ha ha ha! Rose! Okay. It's Lady D's dresses. Thought I heard another one. I did hear another one! Oh my god. Okay. As previously discussed, disrupting the auto-inducers within a mutamycete network can have destabilizing effects on the mold. These effects can also be observed in beings formed of mold, rather than the cellular disintegration observed in sclerotia. However, this instead presents as a dramatic slowing of movement, practically freezing the being in place. If other bodies are in close proximity to the target, this disruption effect can spread, but only within a limited sphere of influence. Yeah, I saw that. I did that. And I got an achievement for it, actually. I need more sage? I need more sage, and I need more ammo. Thank you for the lurk, Luna. Sir! Well, there goes my face. Okay. I really don't like it when they, like, decide to try and get rid of my face. A TV! It's gonna crush this poor Rose. JK, the TV stays there. Understood. Okay. Okay. Can I check out this room? Oh, I know where this is. We've kind of looped back from there, and then there's nothing else down here. Okay, understood. I see. Oh, jeez. I really like this so far, though. It's kinda cool. Chem fluid. That's the wrong button. I will constantly do that. Don't you worry. My face is coming off like in Face Off? Horrible. Does that make Rose, Nick or John? Painting of wolves, picture is fixed in place and can't be removed. Painting of sheep. Painting a frog. Painting a butterfly. Painting of spider. Hey. That's a spider painting. That's a frog. If you're the stealthy one, it will surely bind and suffocate me. Oh, is this one of those I have to make sure that I don't put... That I, like... If you're the snarling beast, they will surely tear us to shreds. Yeah, so I have to, like... Put the nice ones together. So, like, sheep can go here. And frog can go here. And then spider here. And then I need one more painting? Like, you have to make sure that like, the sheep aren't next to or across from the wolves. And, like, the frog can't be across from or next to the spider. I am missing a painting, though, and that's a problem. Predators stand united, each staring down their prey. Oh, or I do put them across from each other. So sheep goes there. Maybe spider goes there. Yeah, first you take the chicken across the river. Okay. Yeah? Predators stand united, staring down their prey. Yeah, predators all go on one side. But I'm confused about Frog. But Frog said that he fears the hunter, so I fear the stealthy one. It will surely bind and suffocate me. Yeah, so Spider and Frog have to be across from each other. So Frog go there, and Spider go there. Is maybe? I mean, okay, so Butterfly can't move at all, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it's a missing painting at this point, but I was just... I don't know. I don't know. I just want it to be solved. You know? Okay. Well, that's fine. We can come back to that. Is that a big spider just very close up? Wouldn't you like to know? Okay, hold on. Before... do anything else. Oops. Okay, there's nothing else in here for us. We need to go downstairs because we do have a monocular key now. Understood. There was a box that we could open with a single key, right? Was that in the Duke's room? be down here. And to the left? Yeah. The way that this that this map is like burned into my brain. Yeah. What that? It's a bit. Does that make it do more damage? I didn't actually read it. I just saw a part and was like, I put that on gun. Okay. Well, it's nice. We like that. Oh. Rose, do you want to... Thank you. Okay, well, we can do this. I just want to keep playing. Oh, my face is starting to hurt. That's a problem. We'll go for like another half hour or so. Safe here? Okay, good. Yes! Yes!
Fine, but what about you? Is that why your words are fading? Try not to overdo it then.
I love words. Words are very good. Okay. So we have lots of ammo, which is great. We have one thing of chem fluid. Hold on a second. Sorry, it sounded like it was storming outside for a second. I think I'm just hearing things. Okay, there's nothing down here, and I can't go outside. We have... There's a door in the courtyard that I can access with the monocular key. Might be stormy inside. It might be. I have the TV on in the living room for the cats. Aww. And it might be the cat television making noises.
I'm trying, but it's hard when I'm being hunted by a demented giant and his creepy minions. Yeah, I guess I can't fight them all.
It's true. We do kind of gotta run from some of them. Okay. Right. I keep seeing that the dining hall, or the dining room has stuff in it, but that's just the shotgun. Say just. I want it. I want that shotgun. But... Ooh, big yawns. Can't get in until I get all 3 keys. I understand. Unlocked it.
Oh, you're
God!
tricksy little rabbit to have made it this far. The next mask, however, won't be nearly as easy to get your grubby paws on.
Don't call my hands grubby. I'm gonna get my shoot gun. I'm gonna get shoot gun. I get shoot gun. Thank you. Oh, that's horrific. What the fuck, Duke? Welcome to the Gallery of Despair, a wondrous display of those few who succeeded in obtaining at least one mask. Set your sights upon those chosen few whose final moments of despair are preserved forever in this gallery. Witness in this collection the light of life from a different perspective. Bruh.
That sick bastard.
Honestly. I do kind of like that it isn't actually the Duke, but like a memory of, or like a culmination of memories. I don't know. Kind of neat. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. It's riddle time. Although I have just drowned, the arrow's bite does sting. They hanged me long ago, yet I feel everything. But still the worst, not last nor first, the sharpened blade did ring. I've just drowned arrow. Drowning arrow. Wait. Hanged. Would it be hanged, blade, arrow, drown? Hanged. Aha! Okay, it tells me, like, immediately. That's nice. Blade. Arrow. Oh. Okay, so hanged, blade, drowned, arrow. I think that's one reason why I really liked Village. Like, more so than 7, was that there were just... We had the very silly, like, classic Resident Evil riddles and puzzles and stuff. There were, like, some of them in 7. But I think most of them were, like, in Lucas's area, which is fine. I don't know. I liked Village just because it felt, I don't know, it felt more classic. 7 was great. Don't get me wrong. Village was wonderful, though. Okay, let's do that. Maybe I just need to replay both of them. 7 I can do on my own time. Hello? Okay. Silver Mask is in the small room in the back. I'm so close. Are you? I am concerned. Yeah, no, they're both real good. This is a problem. That's a big lad. That's a big lad with a lot of faces. Ah, oh, shit, look at him. Lump Man! Please, Lump Man. Oh! I have been spotted by Lump Man! Rose! Sorry. Pipe bomb! Rose. Okay, I should go. I should go. I should try not to do a murder on Lump Man. I think I just need to leave. Ooh. Nope, nope, it's not working. Nope, it's not working. Nope, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Gib! Sir! It is bad here. Fuck! Fuck! Okay, okay.
Don't do a damn thing.
No, I understand that. I'm not trying to shoot him. Okay, I did a thing here, and I don't know what if it dropped anything? Okay, it got me through here. I understand. Ah! He's gonna bust through there, though, and it's gonna be horrible. Or nothing will happen and we'll actually be fine.
Masks down, on to go.
You put your filthy mitts on something.
Oh!
It's time to teach this wicked little rabbit a lesson.
No, no, I don't think I need to learn anything. I think I'm fine. I have made a terrible mistake. Everything is horrible here. I have done it so dang bad. Nope. Ah! Okay, okay. We're gonna be fine. It's fine. Also, Travis, it's movie time if you want to go watch movie. Fuck off! I wish stunning them didn't take my health. Or not my health, my stun chances. This is horrible. Okay, everywhere I go, it is real bad. Okay. Get me through here, it is horrible. Sad. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Let me never go in this basement ever again. Preferably, thank you. Holy shib. Never again. No. Ugh. Can you? Rose. Where is your gun? Okay. That guy got far too close for comfort. Did not appreciate it. Give me that chem fluid, though. I hate using it immediately, but I need it. It's locked from the other side. Okay. This place is done. Are we? I mean, I don't expect the DLC to be very long, right? But we've got 2 of the 3 masks that we're tasked with finding. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, we got it.
I got it, but just barely. This ugly brute turned up.
Ugh.
No shit. I can't fight something like that.
Yet.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. They have paced the amount of bullets and health and stuff that you get very well. As per usual. Welcome back, Smiley. I heard you canceled. We should watch movies together sometime, though. Just saying. Found the painting. I found the snake painting. Listen! It's unfortunate that the timing is at the, or that that movie time is at the same time that this came out. But that's okay. Big tub. I want a bathtub like this. This big. I would like to be able to fully submerge myself in a bath, please. Thank you. But no, we should definitely watch a movie together sometime. I'll watch The Taking of Deborah Logan with you. Anytime you want. Fruity, please. No Alan Wake. I am very excited about the second Alan Wake game. Nope. Let me leave. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Bad, horrible. Honestly, adore me some large bathtub time. No. They're very large and very loud. No, that's not, no, that's not. Excuse me. Same though. Listen. Saltwater pool? Excuse me? That is fancy. Wait. Oh, no. Okay, she needs the other mask. I was like, but that one has a mask. Before we do that, I want to go do the painting real quick. And then, yeah, we'll stream for like another half hour or so, and then we'll probably stop, depending, because my face is getting not happy. We're doing loads better. But my sinus infection is not fully cleared up just yet. Triocular key. I mean both, Fruity. Triocular emblem begets glory unto thee, the golden man. Oh. I didn't get to finish reading it. That's fine. No, IRL face, specifically. Listen, I love my face too, but my sinuses? My sinuses are not very happy right now. I've been fighting a sinus infection for the last, like, week or so, and it is getting much better. But it's still not particularly happy with me. Dining room. Shotgun. Dining room is here. It's true. It very true. My poor schnoz. Triocular key. No, no. Oh, it's fine
Should
actually.
make things easier.
Okay, but Rose, it only has 3 bullets. Where was there? There was another space that needed a 3-key courtyard. Okay. Let's wait to do that because I think that might be where the last mask is. So let's put this bad boy away. And then... Do you know me? Do you even know me? Love me my shoot gun. Shoot gun! Oh woo! Hi, big lad, you are very loud. Where am I going in here? Do 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 do. I get very singy when I play Resident Evil games. The heck? What the heck? Ah! There it is. Could be the panic singing. It's the panic coming through. Sometimes you just gotta sing because you're scared. We have chem fluid, which means I want things that I can't have because I don't have any gunpowder. That's tragic. Hello? Aha! Okay. So one of those I can't get. No, I can get one of them from down there already. Oh, jeez. Listen, I'm your parent now. And we do all want things, and you know what? You can have those things. You get those things. Yes. I'm your parent now! I'm your real dad. Gonna yell at you to take care of your dang self. It's true.
Is that the last mask?
I'm your dad. Oh, hey, there's things there. Wait, guys, wait, guys, guys, wait, 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 guys, wait, guys, wait. Wait, no! That's my face! Wait! Hold on! Wait! No, you have to wait! I'm not ready! Wait! No, wait! No, wait! They do be a little ashy. Fuck! Stop chasing me up the stairs! This is what Emmy must feel like when I chase them up the stairs. I understand now. What if they're groupie dry? What if they're combination? Look, their legs look real goopy, right?
There must
And
be
their
more cores in here.
Their face is kinda dry. Gotta get them a combination lotion so that they can take care of themselves. This is why they're upset. No! Whoa! Rose! Rose! Why did you step in the goop? Nissan! Is that gonna... Ah, I can get up there now. I understand. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Listen. When you speak the truth, you speak the truth. Doesn't mean I like it, but you're not wrong. Get out of here, goat man. I am out of bullets and it's real bad. It's fine, we have more. Hi, boss. Nope, 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 nope. I am out of bullets again. Great, you love to see it. You don't love to see it. Why is there rusted scrap here? What do I need this for? Shotgun ammo. What can I use the rusted scrap for? Hold on a second. Pipe bombs. That's what I can use it for. I understand. And wait, did that also say for shotgun shells? Rusted scrap and gunpowder. Next thing, a gunpowder is going to shotgun shells. We've decided. That's just that. That's what's happening there. Okay, you gonna... We have made a walkway. I need to use the sage, nab that herb, change to a weapon that actually has ammo in it, try not to use all of it. Sometimes Smiley has incredibly dangerous combinations of words. It's true. Pick that gold mask up. We got it.
Easy peasy.
Horrible. What's your arm doing?
What now?
Oh! Oh, it's Face Boy. It's Lump Man. Oh no.
Where am I?
Rise and shine, little one. What a shame. You of us a hop, a skip, and a jump away from claiming your crystalline prize.
I have been tooketh.
Would be so much more lively.
I got.
I'd be ashamed to snuff you out so unceremoniously. Shall we prolong our fun a little longer?
Okay, I'm glad that there is a little more, because I was like,
I've prepared a nice
that didn't last
little
very
version
long.
for you.
Can I have my gun back?
So many sclerotia. Nearly all of them are counterfeit. Do you think you can suss out the real ones? Time is running out, little one. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Oh.
You'll be swallowed right up if you don't hurry.
How am I supposed to tell the difference?
Oh.
Whoopsie, you need a more discerning eye, my dear. Only 2 minutes left. No time for lollygagging.
Lower that barrel. This one?
You're not even close.
I don't know what I'm doing. Look, Rose is just very good at not getting goop on her, you know?
It's not a good idea to take any chances.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna get Rose killed. For the barrel. Where is the barrel? There. That barrel? It's kind of hard to aim.
30 seconds. Time is a wasting.
A lower than barrel? And to the left.
Yes.
Okay. Next one.
10 seconds. It was nice.
Big core. Deep shadow. Come on. I've gotten got. Okay. To be fair, Rose. Listen. Now she got goop on her. You jinxed me. No, I understand what's happening now. It's very hard to read the things. I should have just been looking at the captions, but you know, it's fine. Skip, please.
Time is running out.
That one?
Tick tock, tick tock. You'll be swallowed right up if you don't hurry.
And then
Whoopsie, you need a more discerning eye, my dear. Oh.
No, seriously? Still not done?
okay.
Are you ready? You're not even close.
What?
Only 2 minutes
Follow
left.
my words
No time
here.
for lollygagging.
Up.
It's not a good idea to take any chances.
This one?
He's the last one.
Okay. We did it. Easy. I don't know why anyone was worried about anything that was going on. I had it under control. Did not have it under control. You did it. Thanks.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Because I was very bad at reading.
I was
No.
hoping for a pony, but I guess this'll do.
It's because the thing that said lower than barrel, I read it as lower the barrel, and so I was like, oh, I have to make the barrel be low. It's not, it helps to be able to read properly. Hi, I'm Kaysh, I'm 28, and I never learned how to fucking read. Also, I think I have ammo in this, for my pistol again. I'm doing that gamer thing, right? Where I'm like, I don't want to waste all my shotgun shells. I'm gonna save them for the last boss, or when I need them. And then I will get through the entire game not using them. I imagine we're gonna be fighting the Duke, though, right? And so, like... You know, rusted scrap. So I am kind of holding off on using the shotgun for the Duke fight? Again, assuming that that's what's gonna happen. Right? It's a great time to learn how to read. It's fine. Am I 20? I'm 28, right? Am I 29? I don't know how old I am anymore. That's embarrassing. I'm 28. That's how old I am. I don't know what age is anymore. It's fine. I figured it out. We got there. Not even. You're what? You're only a mildly older than I am. Listen, if you're old, I'm old. We'll just be old folks together. I'm 16! I'm a grandma! Mildly aged, like, jeez. Jeez. Okay, no, wait. Hi, Allie. I was trying to... There we go. I left something in the basement. And the special chamber. Do I go back? 32's not that old. Almost time.
Yeah. I can finally get rid of these powers. But I have to admit, I've been with them for so long. It's kind of weird to let them go.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I know.
Seriously though, are we almost done with this game? Are we almost done with the DLC? Okay, we did it. All 3 masks. Give me it. Give me that weird crystal bug. That's a Dark Souls enemy right there. Hi, buddy.
Well done, little one. You've more than earned this reward. Almost looks like the real thing, doesn't it?
Oh. Rude.
It's a replica, of course.
Snort it. Snort it, Rose.
The manifest on this stratum.
Phoebe understands the suffering that Rose has gone through.
Give away something so precious?
Yes.
I had to bait the trap with something.
Uh-oh. We done got gunked. It's the Duke. He's not our sweet lad anymore.
Now comes the real fun.
Sir.
The perfect place for your demise. Let the show begin!
Sir!
You're kidding! I have to fight him?
Ah! Ah!
Shit! He's even uglier now.
Ah! It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. This would be a good time to use the shotgun.
That's tape!
Whoa, he's coming. coming for me.
I think you'd be more of a fighter. Run. Run.
Let's just stun him a little bit. Reload. God, that doesn't last very long. It's been a minute. It's been a bit. But it's happening. We're scared. We are scared. This is a big boy. I'm not prepared. Did I do it?
Did I do it?
Well, look at you. So much feistier than those other little guys.
Okay.
This is becoming tedious. Time to shake things up.
What that? Yeah, it was shop friend. He's not friend anymore. This is horrible and rude and terrible and I hate it. Okay. Hang on. Game, hang on. Wait a minute, game. Game, you have to let Rose dump the gunk. We gotta gunk up. So we're technically in the Megamycete, which was the big molded thing at the very end of Village. Because Rose is trying to get rid of her molded powers. And the Megamycete has all of the memories from everyone who died near it when it exploded. And so I think what we're seeing isn't actually our shop friend. It's not actually the Duke. It is the memories, or it's like some weird amalgamation of people's memories of him. I'm scared. It's just Resident Evil Village things. Don't worry about it.
I admire your tenacity.
Where is he? Oh. I do plan on playing Village again at some point. We're inside the big boss from... we're inside the big boss from the first game. Is what's happening here.
I do watch rabbits.
Okay. Why weren't those hitting? Yeah, we're in Goop, dreaming of Goop. It's dang good Goop time. I need this. That's a problem. This is a problem. Health is fine. I guess let's equip that. And
This is the most insipid fight I've ever seen.
well,
Don't let her get away with that.
I don't like using my shotgun shells on these boys, but also I just want them
Call
gone.
this a show?
We got our last variant. Let's go. Okay, Rose, I need you to reload. Ah! Horrible. Okay, do the thing. Go, 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 go! Sir, I need you to stop for just a minute so that I can stun you again, okay? Great, perfect, thank you. Oh, this is a problem.
Finish this!
What are we doing? What's happening? Ooh! Please don't. Please don't. I think I did it! He looks real dang cool.
Useless creature. Such a disappointment.
Not the new Kingdom Hearts DLC. Goopy.
No matter. Your imminent demise
Goop.
is inevitable.
Stop snapping at me. Stop it. Okay, I'll run.
Where?
Thanks. Peter Pan.
What? Down there?
I can hear you singing it, Fruity. Hey Rose, you feeling okay? I think Sparkles is Ethan. He hasn't told us as much, but I'm pretty sure it is. Are we in the village now? Yeah, we are.
Where am I now?
You're in the village. From Capcom's hit game,
Stratum.
Resident Evil Village. Deeper you go, harder to escape.
I don't want to leave. Not until I find that crystal. I'm tired of being a freak. I want to have friends. I want to live a normal life. Without this curse.
Your daddy gave you that curse.
Purifying crystal can make that happen. Make me normal. Then I'm not going back until I find it. Yeah, so?
Smiley, please. Oh.
All right then.
Not the gross
Guess
mushrooms.
there's no going back now.
I want to keep playing, but I need to go tend to my face. Monkey. I know where the crystal is.
What's
Yes.
this?
Let's find. Wait a second, I know where we're headed. This is the road to the scary dollhouse. Will you be my friend? Fuck no. Absolutely not. I don't want to see Big Baby again. Oh no. Sorry. Okay. Yep. Nope. The panic sweats are starting to show up. Okay. Okay. It's fine. I don't want to play.
I swear I've seen these monkeys before, but
Yeah, they were
the
they were
hell?
the toy that you had when you were a baby. Is it gonna be, instead of Donna, it's gonna be like Mia? And it's gonna be horrible, and it's gonna be a horrible doll Mia? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I know what's here, and I don't like it. Something's
wrong?
not right. Oh god. It's not nice and sunny out. It's
Okay.
dark now, stars.
What?
Hold on. I gotta sit better.
Something seems different.
Yeah, it's bad here.
Okay, this is weird.
These are the halls where I met Big Baby. We're gonna keep playing. No, I need. I need to attend to my face. Is the thing. Do we want to do this tomorrow? Do we want to stream this tomorrow? I know the plan was to do Alice, and potentially finish Alice, but yeah, let's do this tomorrow. Let's finish this tomorrow. Same hat. I want to do more Alice with you, Fruity, but also I kind of love this DLC already. Well, you want to take a quick little peek? It's bad here. I'm also incredibly curious. Okay, well, let's... Okay, no, we're gonna finish this tomorrow. Yeah, I think we'll finish Alice in one more sitting, and so we'll do that next time. Smiley, I'll send you I'll try and find the clip from this stream, well, from when I originally streamed this and what's in here and why I hate it and why it scares the shit out of me. Sam, I can do a quick doodle for you. Big Baby is horrifying is the thing. But Sam, you've shown up right as we're getting ready to end because I need to attend to my sinuses. But I'm happy that you're here and I love you, friend. And let me play some music while I doodle Sam in a tiny terrarium. It's me, keeping Sam in a tiny terrarium. I need to get all of the I say the newest, they're old at this point, but I need to get the last few doodle redemptions that we've done printed out so I can add them to our little board because we can actually kind of see them now. But yeah, how are you doing, Sam? How's it going? Let's do the little terrarium first. Okay. Let's do... I want it to be like a cute little jar. Oh god, that's horrible. Oh god, I've done this. I'm doing this bad. There we go. It's like a little fish bowl. It's got a cork on the top, right? So it's all, you know, just all sealed. Self-contained terrarium. You know how it is. I'm doing good. My sinus infection is better. We're doing much better, but it's, you know, we're still dealing with it. Smiley better be resting real dang good though. Here, then I'm holding it in the palm of my hand. That's 5 fingers, right? A thumb and 5 fingers is true. I got goop in my face and goop in my games. It's just a goopy time. And then here we go. Nope, that's the wrong placement for that. How do arms work? Also, why is this so... This. Oh. I don't like that. Just feels very blocky. I don't know why. Hot date. I'm a goop. He's a goop. She's a goop. We're all goop. Goop. Okay, hold on. Let's get the bottom of the terrarium all done. And then I'll put like cute little plants in there. But first, my very large face. And then I'll erase these because that doesn't go there. Hi, it's a goop day. How are you, Goop? How's it going, Goop? Ah, yes, I too am Goop. And then I'll do my glasses. Nope, those aren't big enough. This is horrifying. I'm sorry I've made this creature that is me. Why have I made myself so evil looking? What the fuck? Why is this the picture that I've decided I'm gonna get real detailed with? What the hell? I get my bangs in there. Why are my bangs squares? I kind of want. Okay, that's terrible. I've done that bad. Understood. There we go. That's better. I like that better. I'm a piranha from the Amazon. That kid? I'm that kid? What is happening? Wait! Pepperidge Farm remembers. Who gifted that? Why is MS Paint on top of everything? I'm sorry, hold on. First off, let me put MS Paint in a better place and then find out who the heck gifted me shit? What happened? Thank you, friend. Whoever it was. Smiley! It was Smiley? I'm glad I managed to get the get MS Paint out of the way fast enough so that I can see the GIF. Thank you for the Pepperidge Farm Milano cookies. Good snacks. It's a tub of dark chocolate Milano cookies. And I love this. Thank you, Smiley. I appreciate it. Speaking of, loads more people are here now. Kayshurrr arrived. Hey, look. We have a Kayshurrr now. Happy Halloween to you too, friend! Y'all are in trouble when I get my dang paycheck. But yeah, Kimmerald is here now, and we love her. And I have a plague doctor is coming in, a cute little plague doctor plush coming in, and now I got cookies. And thank you. I usually don't like it when it's blonde. But I don't know. There's something about the way that my hair is cut right now, and just like it's fairly evenly blonde, which I think is usually the issue, is it doesn't come out fairly even. I'm digging it. I'm digging it though. Thanks. Thanks for noticing. Back to our horrible painting. I don't know. It just kind of is, you know? It just kind of is. You just are. But also, need I remind y'all, my friends are dang cute. Cutie pies too. Listen. Why have I made myself so menacing in this picture? Hold on. Cause it's a book. It's a horror book. It's a horror book. Listen, it's a horror book, and it's got short stories in it. Listen, if it wasn't, I would tell you. Listen, it's got scary bugs on the cover, and I want it. You still looking at my list? You better stop looking at my list. Listen. Here, I guess if people want to check it out, I do have a throne wish list. If you want to look at it, don't gotta do nothing with it, but it's there, and it's a thing. Hey, Throne, pretty alright company. Kind of a fan. Yeah, the people who work there, pretty alright. Kinda dig them. Sam, is your hair still blonde? I know you shaved it. Or is it a darker color now? I realize I haven't seen your hair in a bit. There, that's my bun. It's just your hair color. What color is that? My wish list is a terrible place to go for ideas for Christmas. Kind of brown red with white hairs. Okay. Understood. I have brown eyebrows. Oh no! Oh no! Fine. Okay. Okay. I see, I understand. Eyebrows. Eyebrows! Hello, these are my eyebrows. They are brown. And go above my eyes. The way that I said I'm gonna end stream and then have just been doodling. It's very good. I do care. I do care that that's not connected to anything. Hair sort of just vanished off the edge of the thing. I do have the goat from the Vivitch. / whatever it was we were talking about this morning. Uh-oh. That's a mistake. We were talking about the taking of Deborah Logan, and I appreciate the fact that you differentiated between regular witch and the Vivitch. Because when you said the witch, I was like, Blair Witch, initially. It's yes, Travis is the answer. Is both. Is both. M. Large, Sam Small, Obs. That's a horrible skin tone, and I don't give a shit. Oh. I need to finish filling this in. Yeah. Look, I can make a better color, but I don't wanna. Here's the thing. I don't give a shit. Hey, as far as you know, maybe I am a roller coaster tycoon person that just got off a roller coaster. It's obviously a W, but you have to put it with the V's because of the way that you pronounce it, which is the Vavitch. Clearly. Okay, let's get some big plants in here. I guess. I don't know what these are. No, hold on. We have to get Sam in here first, actually. Yeah, it has to go in the V's. The Vavitch, Vivent to Vivalmart. Yeah, it's double V, not W. Duh. And then here's little tiny Sam being like, "Hi, I'm just a little guy." I'm sorry I made you a little squat. That was unfortunate. Let's fix that. There we go. That's at least a little more even. I'm sorry, Sam, you only have 4 fingers. I can't fit more fingers here. Oh no! You just don't have any fingers, I've decided. I put all of the detail of this MS Paint into me, apparently. It's true. We love a good sturdy friend, though, is the thing. Yeah! Sam has Animal Crossing villager hands. Maybe Sam's just an Animal Crossing villager. Hold on. Maybe this is why I had to stop playing Animal Crossing, because it was just me trapping all of my friends in essentially in a vivarium. Terrarium? Whatever the one that I'm drawing is. I'm sorry I've made you this way, Sam. So, I mean, if a vivarium has animals in it, and I've put Sam into a terrarium, does that make it a vivarium? These are the questions. Oh no. Here, Sam, you're getting little spiky red hair. I've decided. It's just your hair. And because I have to outline it. There we go. And then... I'm sorry, those are very bad glasses, but you're really happy to be here, is the thing. My good friend Sam, happy to live in this tiny little hell that I have made for them. Sam, you get to wear a blue shirt today. Some black pants. We got some brown. We got some brown with some green in it. We love a little bit of brown with some green. Oh, do we want a toilet in here? Okay, hold on. That kind of just looks like a boot. That's a toilet, right? It looks like a bad toe. Oh no. I'm sorry, I've done this. Hold on. I have to put some plants in here, you know? So that Sam can breathe. It's important that Sam can breathe. We'll do this like bright green because it's weird. And then ooh. And then a nice soft bush over here. Actually, I don't like that. Let's do it this way. Yeah, Sam deserves to breathe. So sorry I'm like this. We got some nice green in there. And then get a good cork color. That works. Ah! There we go. There we go! Are we happy with this? Oh, this is horrible! Oh, I'm so sorry. What is today? 10/28? Oh, that's a 2. God, that's horrible. Hold on. Let's try that again. Here, you wear a shirt that says Sam on it. Just so that we know that it's you, you know? I don't wanna lose you in there, is the thing. Sam! Oh, this is a thing that I have made. I've titled this Sam Lives Here. I did this. Let me go ahead and post. I'm gonna go post this in Discord real fast. Where is it? Layart. Sam lives here. This is your home. I hope you like it. Oh, why is it? Why? let me do this? Where is it? Nah, that's not it. Noodles. There we go. It helps to spell toilet right? Is the thing? Okay. I drew this. It is true. You just want to tell the kids that they did the thing. But there it is. Sam lives here. I hope you like it. I'm just gonna leave that there. Usually I would hop onto the other screen to for us to leave, but I kind of like just looking at this right now. Is the thing. So shall we find somebody to raid? Thanks for noticing. I did spend a lot of time on this. It has colors. We could go hang out with ATM. It is ATM's birthday as well. Oh, excuse me. Is D fully streaming? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. When did D fully start streaming again? Okay, but it's been a minute since we've seen D fully, so we gotta go see them. I love ATM, and everyone should go wish them a happy birthday, but D fully's online. So we're gonna go say hi to D fully. If one of the mods could pull up the the raid messages, I would appreciate that. But we're gonna go say hi to our good friend D fully. It's been a bit since they've streamed. Thank you, Allie. But yeah, that's stream for today. We're gonna, oh god, I'm so tired. We're gonna yawn a whole dang lot. But we'll do more Shadows of Rose tomorrow. Whenever I feel like it. I'm gonna go take care of my face, but we're gonna go say hi to our good friend first before that happens. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for being here, pals. I love y'all. But take care of your dang selves, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, friends.